Our next guest correctly called these low levels when he was with us back in June.
We're looking at about 6250 as the next point, and if it goes under that, we're going to test 5900.
Let's welcome back Ran Neuner, founder of On-Chain Capital, the host of CNBC Africa's Crypto Trader. Ran, welcome back. Good to see you.
So good to be here, and the market is at 5900, as I called it the last time I was here.
Yeah, and so now what? Now what are you looking for? What levels?
Look, unfortunately, the same model that told us that we're going to 5900 is telling us that there's more blood to come. It's calling a 62% chance of a bear market, and a bear market means that we're going to test 5350 as the next point. And there's a 62% chance of that. There's about a 16% chance of a bull market, but to confirm the bull market, we're going to need to test 7400 with high volume. So right now, my money is on the market continuing to go down and going down to about 5350, which is the next stop. And the time horizon there is in about the next 2 weeks.
You know, the mining cost of Bitcoin is reportedly right around these levels at this point, Rand. How does that factor in, if at all?
It's a huge factor, but what's going to happen is when the miners find that it's not viable for them to mine, what they're going to do is they're going to switch off their machines, and there's going to be fewer machines in the ecosystem, and the machines that are left are actually going to continue to mine. So we are at those levels. We received some notifications from some of the miners that they have already switched off their machines. So we're there, and the miners are switching off their machines, and there's going to be the same, a fewer number of miners with the same amount of mining.
Say, Rand, it's BK. So let's go back to this mining issue, because I've never really been a believer that going below production cost has any impact on price, because every 10 minutes we still get 12.5 Bitcoin. So how does this have the supply remains exactly the same, whether we have 1,000 miners or 2 miners? So how does that impact price?
Yes. So what happens is that most of the miners don't mine for themselves. They mine in these syndicates or these pools. And how these syndicates work, pretty simply, it's the same thing as if we all buy a lottery ticket, or we each buy a lottery ticket. And we say that if we win the lottery, we'll share the winnings between us. Now, if there are 10 of us which have got a lottery ticket, we have to split the lottery winnings between 10 of us. But if 2 of us switch off the machines, then we split the winnings between 8 of us. So that means that the miners that can't afford to mine will switch off their machines, and the mining bounty that remains will be split between less machines, which will make it viable again for the less machines. What I can tell you is that there's going to be a lot less investment in new mining infrastructure, because it's not viable to buy the machines to put them in the mining infrastructure today.
Hey, Rand, it's Tim. I think theoretically, cost of production only means something if there's real demand on it, but that's not my point. You think it's going lower. I'm curious how you would play that. And in fact, do you see people taking short positions out there, or in fact, how would you recommend people do that if they think it's going lower?
So I always say the same thing. It depends on your time horizon. If you understand the technology and you're a bull, then now is a great time to be buying. We know that there were 27,000 blockchain startups in 2017. In the first 6 months of 2018, there are 28,000 blockchain startups. There's a huge venture capital scene, and the blockchain is progressing, and this thing isn't going away. That's if you're a long-term bull. If you're day trading, or you're trading in the next week or 2 weeks, I'm calling 5350 in the next week or 2, and so you could possibly take a short position, and there's probably 10% in it.
Oh, so that 5350 call that you're making, that's short term. I mean, that's next 7 days or so.
That's the next 2 weeks.
The next 2 weeks. Okay. What is the one coin that you would buy right now, Rand?
One coin, well, I'm looking at infrastructure, and I'm looking at the infrastructure or the blockchain plays, the protocols, and they seem to be really undervalued. And that's the base layer of this whole blockchain. So it's a toss-up for me between 2 coins. The one coin is NEO, which is the Chinese blockchain, or the Chinese version of Ethereum. And the other coin for me is Cardano, or ADA, which is it's a protocol level. It's a blockchain protocol, which I think is highly undervalued.
All right, Rand, great to see you. Thanks for your time.
Good to see you. Thank you very much.
Ran Neuner of CNBC Africa's Crypto Trader.